I want you to think back to a time when you were a little kid. You had just seen Star Wars for the first time, and you were now playing with your fictional lightsaber in your backyard. You imagine yourself on a huge battlefield, destroying thousands of droids, saving innocent people, commanding your troops, and slicing through everything remotely related to the enemy. You were unstoppable, and the only thing that could hinder you from success was your own imagination. What if this fantasy that we all created from our childhood actually existed, and that it was possible to watch it on TV? The truth is that it does exist. Its name is Clone Wars, and no, not that Clone Wars, but this one. It's called Clone Wars Microseries, and aired on Cartoon Network between 2003 and 2005, and you can now watch it on Disney+. This 2D animation served to fill the gap between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and later became the inspiration for the Clone Wars we all love today. The creator of this show was a guy called Genndy Tartakovsky, and oh boy, he did a phenomenal job. This microseries illustrates visual storytelling never seen before in Star Wars, and even if it isn't canon anymore, a must-watch for anyone who calls themselves a true fan. Show, don't tell is the #1 priority. Music, sound effects, and the visuals were the pure essence of the story, and that's what made it unique. What I noticed when watching the series was that every single scene and face expression had a purpose. The animation style suited the Star Wars universe extremely well, because the handmade drawings illustrated a sort of silliness and a lot of emotions, even if the characters weren't talking. It could go whole chapters without dialogue, and it didn't matter, because the audience was fully focused on what the characters were doing. The animation made everything move in a sort of majestic and amusing way that added yet another layer to the effective and beautiful action sequences. You have to remember that this show was created with hand drawings about 20 years ago, and that makes it even more impressive. When you choose to tell a story in this type of animation, the characters can basically pull off whatever they want. Obi-Wan would not have been able to jump like this in live action, but in this type of context it doesn't matter. Everything looks silly, overwhelming, and extremely out of proportion. The battles get drawn like they're never ending, but that doesn't stop our characters from winning either way. Physics has never been an important factor in Star Wars, but Clone Wars takes it to another level and truly embraces it. The animation is used in a way that shows how powerful our characters are. It's a very clever way to explain which person the audience should keep an eye on. An example of this is how capable and mighty the Jedi gets built up to be. They take down whole battle stations on their own, and a never-ending droid army isn't a problem. But when a certain General Grievous gets introduced about halfway through the show, everything changes when he almost kills 5 Jedi alone. No! The introduction of this character could be one of the best I have seen in a long time. The fear in our hero's eyes just says it all, and you as a viewer really understand how dominant he is because of the swift turnaround in the Jedi's behavior. Grievous is frightening in a way he never been before, and it's all because of visual storytelling and setting boundaries in how powerful characters are shown to be. This goes even deeper when Grievous later is fighting Dooku and gets absolutely demolished by him. It illustrates just how powerful the Sith had become, and that they would beat most Jedi without any kind of trouble. A great way to demonstrate the capabilities and potential of the villains.
You're holding the saber too tightly. Now too lightly.
The Clone Wars series is jam-packed with action, but it's also quite funny at times. The dialogue actually made me laugh out loud, and the way characters react to certain moments are very entertaining. You are going to laugh when watching this show, either to the way Yoda is talking or the many one-liners Obi-Wan pulls off.
Typical. The weather clears as soon as we're leaving.
Like I said before, the animation is drawn in a way that makes everything look a bit ridiculous, but that's the point. The show doesn't take itself too serious, and it doesn't try to hide away from it either. You have to remember that Star Wars as a franchise displays funny and weird moments all the time. It's wars in space, with talking animals and people using glowy sticks as weapons. Star Wars is silly, and that's one of the many reasons why we love it.
See, it was nothing.
Chancellor!
Where the show really shines is its foreshadowing and build-up towards Revenge of the Sith. The entire Battle of Coruscant gets shown, something we don't even get a glimpse of in the other Clone Wars. Anakin was also the main man throughout the series, to a much greater extent than the 2008 version. He was portrayed in an excellent way that made Revenge of the Sith a much more enjoyable movie. We witness unique moments in the show, like when he gets knighted or his breathtaking duel with Ventress. That duel, by the way, is so good. The implications of the dark side inside of him gets displayed in a fascinating and clever way that since then hasn't been topped by any new content, in my opinion. The series absolutely has some deep elements to it, and it's nice to see that all generations could find this show enjoyable and thought-provoking from quite different perspectives. If I had to summarize Clone Wars, I would say that it's like watching Star Wars through the eyes of a kid. Everything is overwhelming, characters are extremely powerful and get away with moves that shouldn't be possible. It's like a couple of kids have decided to play Star Wars and they're making up the rules as they go along. It's freaking awesome, and the best way to describe it is like you're playing Star Wars, but instead watching it. Clone Wars is an accomplishment that sadly doesn't get enough attention, but I hope that this video gave it a little bit more, and I really hope that you people who hasn't given it a chance yet at least tries to watch it. Thank you for watching, subscribe and press the like button if you enjoyed the content, and may the Force be with you.